Yep. You already know what it is. Southpaw Slick, live at work. And today's question comes from one of my Instagram followers. And he asked, is it true that hoes really cannot be housewives? And this is definitely an age old saying. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. But is that fact or is it fiction? Is it true or is it false? Now, the way I see it, at one point in time, that was law. Like, that's it. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Ideally, you don't want to turn a hoe into a housewife. However, the question, can you? I'm going to say yes. And the reason being is because I know a good bit of hoes who are housewives, or if not a housewife, they've been married or have gotten married, have children, and they're living like a normal married couple would, right? So it is definitely possible. On the flip side, like I said before, with the body count thing, and my body count video doesn't really matter. At a certain point in time in your life, when you reach a certain age, it becomes less of a deal breaker. You don't worry about it as much. So, all the people that were sticking and moving, reaching their 30s, 40s, 50s, and up, they are more than likely to have or get someone that can look beyond their past. So, it is possible for a hoe to be a housewife. Absolutely. Like I said, ideally, of course, you don't want somebody that's been for the streets, but you're truly not going to know if they were or not, depending. Now, like I said, I know a few. These are women I know for a fact that been around the block to hell and back. Like I know for a fact they've been ran through and they still were able to find somebody to wife them up. So you can't count that out. Now, me myself, yes, I don't want to be with a woman that has a whole bunch of bodies, but as long as she doesn't have a reputation, and she didn't fuck anybody I know, like a family member, affiliate, a friend, whatever the case may be. As long as those two things are in check, then everything is pretty much fine. Now, like I always say, I go into the situation from the get go. Any woman I speak to, I'm automatically going to assume she has at least 10 bodies on her. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm not going to hound you over it. Oh, how many dudes you slept with? Me, I don't care. You get what I'm saying? I'm not that insecure. You know what I mean? You just got to tread lightly. You just got to vet a person in and out. That's it. I'm saying if they have tendencies, it's going to show. You get what I'm saying? Like being overly flirtatious with everyone. That's definitely a red flag to me. I know some people, they're not bothered by it. Like, oh, it's just flirting. It's just flirting. I'm like, nah. I'm saying if you like too friendly like that, that's definitely a red flag. Somebody that's like impulsive or is or has an inclination to twerk in public or everywhere they go. That's a red flag. If they have a social media with nothing but ass and titties and everything on full display, those are red flags. That's what I'm saying. Those are women you avoid anyway. Even if they're not really hoes. If they have a hoish aura on them, I'm like, that's pretty much a no-go. You get what I'm saying? But back to the question. Um, at a certain point in time, I'm assuming It might not be for everybody. Some people, they might be like that forever. Like, till the day they die. They're just going to be a hoe forever, for the streets forever, for the highway forever. That's just the way it is. But I'm saying, but I think the majority of people, I'm saying, especially women, since that's what we're talking about, they're going to get tired of that shit. You're going to get tired of being a hoe after a while. I would hope, at least. I'm saying you already done fucked everybody. You've been in every possible position and the Kama Sutra and then some. I'm saying after a while you're gonna be done with that. Like you already, dealt with the bullshit. So it's like, why keep on going with it? Especially after you reach a certain point in time in your life. I'm saying you don't want to be the woman in her 40s with cats. You don't want to be the cat lady. You know what I mean? I'm saying you don't want to be just a woman that's a single mom, because a lot of them are hoes. Not all of them. Not all of them. So let's get that out the way. Just because she's a single mom doesn't mean she's a hoe by default. But a lot of them are, you know what I mean? The ones that have multiple baby daddies in particular. A lot of them were sticking and moving crazy, right? But I think, to be fair, I actually think a hoe with no children has a better chance of getting wifed up than a woman that has kids. I honestly believe that. Or maybe because that's just my prerogative, that I don't want to date a woman with kids, no matter what. Like I said, like I said in that handicap video, when I date somebody with a handicap or a disorder, I'd rather date somebody like deaf than date somebody with kids. So I'm saying, like, I think they might actually have a better shot at getting somebody to cuff them long term. So that's my answer. It's yes. Hoes can be housewives, and hoes more than likely will be, because men are desperate. I'm saying the majority of men have a scarcity mindset, so they basically go into the dating game like, I'll take what I can get. I'm saying, because let's be real, the majority of men are below average to most women. Even below average women can get a decent man. You know what I mean? But a below average man, not really. He has to have a lot of redeemable qualities. Whereas a woman, the only redeemable quality she needs is what's between her legs. That's it. Everything else becomes obsolete for most men. But like I said, but as a dude, if you are below average, you have to have a lot of stuff to make up for it. I'm saying, if you broke, you better be swagged up. You better be physically attractive, or if not that, have a good mouthpiece in more ways than one. Um, Sexual prowess, you gotta have that on point. That's why I'm saying you have to have a lot of stuff on point to make up for that. So, like I said, because men have a scarcity mindset, that also increases the chances of a woman who's a hoe, currently or formerly, can be a housewife. So that's my take on it. Southpaw Slick, I'm out.